Hello to all of you November babies. I am Dr. Karen, and this is a colour analysis for March 2026 for you. I certainly hope that February turned out to be all of the things that you were expecting. And if you use the colours that came from your missing colours list, that maybe the results exceeded your wildest dreams. Now, this month, I've decided to use an oracle deck from the runes. Now, this is a very interesting little deck. There aren't very many cards in it, but they certainly have a lot to say, and let's see whether their input will help guide you along your way through March 2026. So let's get started, shall we? Now, for those of you who watched my readings in February, you may have noticed that I'm no longer using cards. I can't shuffle them anyway. So instead, what I've gone for is a whole range of coloured circles. These give us the same information. They're a bit noisier, and I think they're a lot more fun. So let's get started. November people, let's choose an oracle card from the runic pack to see how it will address the colour circles that you receive for the month of March. All right then. What we need now is 4 colour circles for people born in November to check on their month of March for this year. 1, 2, that doesn't want to stick. 2, 3, and 4. So, what do we have here? We have red on yellow. We have pink and white. We have green on cyan, and underlying it all is grey on cyan, grey on blue. All right then. Well, red on yellow. Think before you act, basically. That's the energy you're bringing with you into the month. Yellow internally often has to do with stress and anxiety, but it also means you need to get in touch with your memories. What have you learnt in the past? And before you do something in the real world that is risky or likely to cause the spilling of blood, you need to activate those memories. Now, red and yellow, when we mix them together, form orange. And orange is courage and confidence and the ability to face problems head on. But thinking before you act is very, very important as well, because orange doesn't often do that. Orange just gets out there and fights. This gives you the opportunity to do it in a very significant and potentially positive way. Accompanying this, we have pink on white. Now, white internally is always about a feeling of emptiness. I want something more out of life. But it's also a need for a flash of inspiration. In the real world, pink is the absence of energy. Here, in this red on yellow, you have more energy than you know what to do with. Pink is a depletion of that energy. But pink and white together as a combination in the tarot is justice. So whatever you do here, thinking before you act or just acting without thinking, which is in the negative form of this particular combination, will lead you to a situation where justice will come in. You'll get what you deserve as a result of the way in which you negotiate this red and yellow. Where will that lead you? Green on cyan. Cyan internally is always peace and harmony and quiet and stagnation and boredom. And in the real world, there is the opportunity to make changes by taking off in a new direction, finding a new horizon, grabbing at opportunities as they arise in order to overcome this feeling of stagnation that occurs internally. Underlying all of this, we have grey and blue. Blue internally has to do with responsibility. There are things that you need to do. There are jobs and tasks and duties that need to be accomplished, and you're the only one that's likely to be able to do those. In the real world, however, they cause confusion and uncertainty. What do you need to do first? What is more important? How do you overcome the massive demand on your time and energy that occurs as a result of these responsibilities and still have time for yourself? That's the dilemma that occurs here with the grey and blue. So let's have a look at the colours that are missing. There's no black, but you do have white. You have red, you have yellow, you have green, you have blue. There's no brown or orange, even though it is hidden in this very first combination. You have grey, there's no purple, you do have pink, and you have cyan. Now, basically, that means that throughout March, you have got a very full and colourful series of skills that you have available to you. White, red, yellow, green, blue, grey, pink, and cyan gives you a huge gamut of skills that you can attach to whatever it is that you want to do at any given situation. What you're not using are black, brown, orange, and purple. Now, these four colours, however, do have some importance for you because they hold the key to whatever it is that is going to allow you to find the correct opportunities to give you peace and harmony inside, rather than you being so bored that you jump at anything in order to make a change in your life. So out of those four, which is the most appealing and which is the least appealing? And put those two colours into your life during the month of March. What do they mean? Black is about taking time out, giving yourself a break. There's a lot of energy expenditure here in this red and yellow. Brown is about setting some goals. Don't just jump at every opportunity, which is likely here in the green and cyan, but actually make some propulsive goals. Determine what it is that you really want, and then what you need to do in order to obtain those skills. Orange, it's about survival. I mentioned earlier that it's hidden here in the red and yellow, but it's also about being confident in any given situation. So, are you going to be able to do that? And purple, which is all about change in terms of sudden disruption, but also the ability to recreate something different, something new, something that is not just reliable, but also something that is long-lasting. So it's a complete overhaul of what was by getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. Which ones are you going to choose? Let's have a look at what the green has to say about it. Now, there's no way I'm going to pronounce that. Don't speak Gaelic. This one is all about breakthrough, awakening, awareness, daylight, clarity, as opposed to nighttime uncertainty, a time to plan or embark upon an enterprise. The enterprise is the potential hidden in here, in the green and cyan. But before you can embark upon that enterprise, you probably need to decide what it is that you want to do. And that's hidden in the brown. I think perhaps You'll notice that today's readings have been rather short, and that's because while these are being uploaded, I'm on my way on a 2-day trip, 4 days round trip, with an additional day down there to go and see the traditional Chinese dances. I've been waiting for this for a couple of years. Last year, it was a cyclone that prevented us from going. This year, I'm definitely going to get there. So, while I'm going to be enjoying that, I hope you enjoy the reading. And if you did enjoy it, please give it a like, or maybe even comment. It always comes in handy for the algorithm. If you're new here and a bit confused, I'll leave a couple of cards at the end to give you some idea of what it is I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Until I see you again, this time for April's reading, may the colours of your life lead you exactly where you need to be for your own higher good.